Welcome in. This is Middle School Math Course 1, Unit 4, Percents. Topic 1, what is a percent? Understand percentages and their relationship to fractions and decimals. Now let's learn about what a percent is. A percent means out of 100. So when you see the percent sign, that means out of 100. The word percent means per 100. So look at the first example. The grid has 100 squares on it. If 85 squares are shaded, that means 85 out of 100. We write that as 85%. So the percent symbol. The symbol for percent is this symbol right here with the two circles, with one circle over the line and the other circle under the slanted line. Okay, so we place it after the number. We put that symbol after the number. For example, 25, and then we put the percent sign. 60, and then we put the percent sign. And 100, and then we put the percent sign. So therefore, we read it as 25%, 60%, 100%. And it is also important to understand that the percent tells us something. So again, a percent tells us how much of the whole we have out of 100. We use percents every day for things like shopping discounts, test grades, statistics, battery life. So let's look at the example. The question asks us, what percent is 85 out of 100? So we write it as a fraction with 85 over 100. Since the denominator is already 100, the numerator tells us the percent. So that means 85 out of 100 equals 85%. So let's remember that percent means out of 100, and we use the percent sign after the number. So 85 out of 100 simply means 85%. Excellent job. Pause the video. Do your activity in your student workbook. So now let's look at an example of percent. All right, so changing a fraction into a decimal and a percent. Start with the fraction. We have 1/4. This means 1 out of 4 equal parts. The picture shows one shaded part out of 4 parts. Step 2, change the fraction to a decimal. So divide the numerator by the denominator, which is 1 divided by 4, and we will get 0.25. So 1/4 equals 0.25, or you can say 1/4 equals 0.25. So step 3, change the decimal to a percent. Multiply the decimal by 100. So 0.25 times 100 equals 25%. So 0.25 or 0.25 equals 25%. So put it all together now. These all mean the same amount. 1/4 means 0.25, and it also means 25% with the percent sign. So let's remember this. Fraction makes it to where we divide to get a decimal. Decimal makes it to where we multiply by 100 to get a percent. So if you see those, that's what you do. So 1/4 equals 0.25 or 0.25. And that equals 25%. So either way it go, we can write it Either way go. Either way go. Excellent job. Pause this video so that you can do your student workbook activity. Always remember, practice makes perfect. So the goal is to give you more than one example on topics such as this one. So now let's look at another example of changing a fraction into a decimal and a percent. Step 1, start with the fraction. We have 1 over 2, meaning half. This means 1 out of 2 equal parts. The picture shows one shaded half of the whole circle. Step 2, change the fraction to a decimal. So divide the numerator by the denominator. 1 divided into 2, or 1 divided by 2 equals 0.50, which means 0.50. So half equals 0.50. Step 3, change the decimal to a percent. Multiply the decimal by 100. So 0.50 times 100 will give us 50%. So 0.50 equals, good, 50% with the percent sign. Put it all together. These all mean the same amount. Half, 0.50, half meaning 1 over 2, 0.50, which is 0.50, and 50% with the percent sign. They all mean the same amount. Remember, again, fraction tells us divide to get a decimal. Decimal simply tells us multiply by 100 to get a percent. So half equals 0.50, which equals 50%. Excellent job. Pause the video so that you may do your activity in your student activity workbook. Now, at this point, we're doing another percent example. If you believe that you understand it already, you may turn the video off, or you may skip to the end so that you can click to the next video that's available in the series if you're completing more than one. However, if you still need practice, stay on this slide, stay on this image, and continue to listen. The next image after this is a review image of the whole presentation, of this whole video. So let's go. Now let's look at another example of changing a fraction into a decimal and a percent. Step 1, start with the fraction. We have, what is our fraction? Our fraction is 3/4. It's 3 over 4. This means what? This means 3 out of 4 equal parts. Excellent job. The picture shows 3 shaded parts out of 4 parts. Excellent job. Step 2, change the fraction to a decimal. So first we start with the fraction, and now we're changing the fraction to a decimal. That means divide the numerator by the denominator. Divide 3 by 4. 3 divided by 4 equals 0.75. Don't forget, get your calculators out as well so that you can see that it's 0.75. So 3/4 equals 0.75. Step 3, change the decimal to a percent. So as of now, we start with the fraction, change the fraction to a decimal, and now we're changing the decimal to a percent. So multiply the decimal by 100. That gives us 0.75 times 100 gives us 75% with the percent sign. So 0.75 equals 75%. Now we're going to put it all together. These all mean the same thing. From answer 1, 2, and 3, the answers from 1, 2, and 3 all mean the same thing. Okay? 3/4 the fraction means 0.75. 0.75 means 75% with the percent sign. All right, excellent. You're doing great. So remember, again, fraction means divide to get a decimal. Decimal means multiply by 100 to get a percent when we're doing percentages. So 3/4 equals 0.75, which equals in turn 75% with a percent sign. Excellent job. See, it's not as hard as it seems. Pause the video so that you may do your activity in your student activity workbook. So let's go ahead and do a review of what we've learned about percents, fractions, and decimals in this presentation. This video has taught us so much, but thankfully it flowed. So hopefully you remember it, and if not, feel free to run the video back again, but not in one day. Do it again the next day so that you give yourself time to regurgitate, to remember it, and bring it back up if you need to, okay? In your memory. So let's remember, a percent means out of 100. A fraction shows part of a whole. A decimal is another way to write part of a whole. All three can represent the same value. So decimals. When working with decimals, line up the decimal points. Add zeros if needed. Remember the place values, tenths with the th, s, hundredths, and thousandths. Fractions. When working with fractions, simplify fractions when you can. Find equivalent fractions. Use common denominators when adding or subtracting. As always, remember, fractions, decimals, and percents are all connected. For example, 1/2 equals 0.50, which equals 50%. 3/4 equals 0.75, which equals 75%. 1/4 equals 0.25, which equals 25%. So this is your final reminder when it comes to this section. Percent equals out of 100. Fraction equals part of a whole. And decimal is another way to write part of a whole. So these three forms can all describe the same amount. Excellent job, creative learners. You have done a great job. Great job, creative learning adventurers. Again, we will see you next time. Excellent job. Like, comment, and subscribe, family and friends. Now, don't forget, we have in these squares that's popping up, we have more videos and more courses. So explore them. And the next video for this course should pop up as well. Have a good one. Bye.